Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron here. Got me a couple books even while I was out on Sanibel Island. Sister Waldron likes to go there and shell. And I don't do beaches unless they're deserted because I'm not going to go submit myself to that temptation. But there's some deserted beaches out there. We rent this little house, really dirt cheap. It's like a 600 square foot thing at the end of a road, and we get a private beach with it. Anyhow, there's these two books. Now you might say, why would you get these two books? First of all, at Indiana Bible College, I used to teach world literature. And so we would go into the foundations of writing and then world literature. We'd go into Chinese literature, Indian literature, Native American literature, Mesoamerican literature, of course, European, African, literature in this type thing. So there's a part in that course where you get into what were the first comedies, and so the Greek comedies are just amazing. Like The Clouds by Aristophanes is absolutely amazing. Now, and like Machiavelli, I had no idea he wrote a comedy. Shakespeare, Twelfth Night, I'm not acquainted. Shakespeare, by the way, is really risque for Christians. Moliere, The Miser, John Gay, The Beggar's Opera, Oscar Wilde, yikes, The Importance of Being Earnest, Anton Chekhov, and George Bernard Shaw, who was a Fabian socialist. So again, I would just get this to show that this is a genre that is in the human condition, created in the image of God. This came from Gene's books, by the way. They're on Sanibel. And now Paul uses humor on occasion. I mean, he's pretty scathing, and he uses some double entendres. You know, I wish they were all cut off that trouble you. And, you know, I speak as a fool. And on and so forth. So that is actually as well some type of biblical literature as well. He who sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. So then Geary's Guide to the World's Great, a forest. Now, an aphorism is just like a handy saying, you know, it's kind of almost like a proverb. So it should be kind of obvious why I got this, because it's like Solomon teaching short, pithy sayings and all this. So he's got essential aphorism of the world's great. So it's like a forest. So it's like an encyclopedia of a forest. People, so I've really always been big in, like, you know, Treasury of Success, Treasury of Wisdom, Leroy Brownlow, Apples of Gold, Wings of Silver, and just little sayings. Like Twitter, before there was Twitter, when you had to read Twitter, and it wasn't even 140 characters. And so I had no idea most of these people existed. So like Mikhail Weller from Russia, he gives a little biography, and then it'll say, here's his essential aphorisms. And then lucky person is not someone who has a little of something, but someone who suffers and is miserable because of the need to have more. See, that's pretty good. And now if you're a preacher, teacher, public speaker, even a mom, dad wanting to teach, that's pretty good. Love is the instinct for reproduction, triumphing over the instinct for self-preservation. Fascinating statement. The more energetic and talented a man is, the less he can be restrained at any stage. Then you have Voltaire, Francois-Marie Aurette. So that's interesting. So here's his essential aphorisms. Now, of course, he was an enemy to most parts of Christianity, especially the Catholic Church. Crush the wretch. That's how we'd end his letters. Common sense is not so common. So I never knew he was the founder of that saying. Those who can make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities. Woo! Woo! Somebody needs to tweet that thing. Paradise is where I am. Kingdom of God's within, even though he didn't believe it. Use, do not abuse. Neither abstinence nor excess ever renders man happy. Use, do not abuse. Neither abstinence nor excess. You know, let your moderation be known unto all men. You know, so there's some biblical things there. I remember one time he said, you know, if you've got one religion, you have despotism, and two religions, you have civil war. If you have 100 religions, you have peace. So it's a real big thing for freedom of religion. To hold a pen is to be at war. Wow. The pen is mightier than the sword. If God did not exist, it would be necessary to invent him. See, I always thought that was Freud. If God has made us in his image, we have returned him the favor by making God in our image. See, that's Michael Card, that wonderful song, we've made you in our image and we commit idolatry. That's a great song, by the way. It is dangerous to be right in matters where established men are wrong. See, I think Orwell said something along those lines. We must cultivate our garden. See, that's good stuff right there. When we hear news, we should always wait for the sacrament of confirmation. Prejudice is an opinion without judgment. See, it is forbidden to kill, therefore all murderers are punished unless they kill in large numbers unto the sound of trumpet. So you can see why, and this is a book. I mean, this is like 400 plus pages full of this kind of stuff. So that's why I bought it, $9.98 there at Gene's Books on Sanibel, 8 great comedies. So that's why I get stuff I get. God bless. I'll talk with you later in Jesus' name. Just live for God.